Hello students, we talk about the second chapter of our linear algebra subject, linear transformation, and in today's lecture we are look at how to calculate or how to find the transformation matrix if the given we have given any transformation. Okay, so first of all we going through the definition. Okay, so the definition is let v1 v2 up to son vn with a basis of v and let t belongs to lvv, the matrix of t with respect to the basis v1 v2 vn of v is the n by n matrix whose ith column for 1 less equal I less equal n is the set of coefficients obtained when t of vi is expressed as linear combination of v1 v2 vn. Thus the matrix alpha rs of t is described by the equations t of vi is equal to summation j running from 1 to n alpha j I vj, which is equal to alpha 1 I v1 plus up to so on plus alpha n I vn. Okay, so the definition is, if we have given a basis for v, we have given v1 v2 up to vn is a basis for v, and we have a transformation t belongs to lvv, means what, t is a transformation from v to v. Then the matrix of t, how the matrix of t with respect to the basis, with respect to the given basis can be calculated. Therefore it can be calculated as is the n by n matrix. Therefore as t belongs to lvv and the v contains n basis, therefore this matrix t is n by n matrix whose ith column for 1 less equal I less equal n is the set of coefficients obtained when t of vi is expressed as linear combination of v1 v2 up to so on vn. Okay, so how it can be calculated? Suppose we have to calculate the ith column, okay, for this matrix. Therefore how it can be calculated? These are nothing but the coefficients. The entries in the ith column are nothing but the coefficients obtained. How can be obtained? When we express this t of vi as a linear combination of the basis vectors v1 v2 up to so on vn. Thus the matrix alpha rs of t is described by the equation t of vi is equal to, it can be expressed in that way, summation j running from 1 to n alpha j I vj, which is equal to alpha 1 I v1 plus up to so on alpha n I vn. Okay, so now we look at the problem. Okay, let t be a linear transformation of the three-dimensional vector space with the basis v1 v2 v3. We have given t as a linear transformation and over the three-dimensional vector space. We have a vector space of 3 dimension and the basis vectors are v1, v2, v3. So that we have given t of v1 is equal to this 2v1 minus 3v3, t of v2 is v2 plus 5v3 and t of v3 is v1 minus v2. Then we have to express this linear transformation t with respect to these basis vectors v1, v2, v3. Okay, so how this matrix is calculated? By using a definition. How? The ith column, the entries in the ith column are nothing but the coefficients of t of vi. Okay, when it can be expressed in the combination of the basis vectors v1, v2, vn. In that way, every column of the matrix is calculated. So we have given t of v1 is equal to 2v1 minus 3v1 v3. Here we have an v1 is given. Okay, so we have, by using this we can calculate the first column of the matrix by using this equation. Here t of v2 is given, that is second basis vector. T of v2, t is operating on the second basis vector and some equation is given. Therefore by using this we can calculate the second column of the matrix, and by using t of v3 we can calculate the third column of the matrix. So here look at here the in each equation. Okay, here we have t of v1, t of v2 and t of v3 is given. Each equation or the in each equation is a linear combination of the basis vector. Here is a linear combination, or t of v1 is a linear combination of the v1 and v3. Look at here, t of v2 is a linear combination of the basis vector v2 and v3, and t of v3 is a linear combination of basis vector v1 and v2. So how the first column is calculated? Here look at the t of v1, okay, which is equal to 2v1 minus 3v3. So how it can be calculated? Look at the coefficients of this v1, v3, okay, and put it as a first column. Take the coefficients and take put as in first column of the matrix T. Okay, so here we have given 2v1, T of v1 is equal to 2v1 minus 3v3. So the v1, the basis of, consider this nothing but the v1, v2 and the v3. Okay, this is v1 column, v2 column and the v3 column, and this is nothing but the T of v1, here v1, v2, v3, and here T of v1, T of v2 and the T of v3. Okay, now we have to calculate the, for first column, look at the coefficients of the v1, v2, v3. Okay, so the first coefficient for the v1 is 2, therefore it can be put as the first entry. Then, and put these entries are put as a column wise. Okay, look at for the first column, therefore here is there is no entry for the v2. Okay, there is, v2 is not present, therefore the coefficient should be 0. Okay, the first second entry should be in the first column should be 0. Now look at here, the coefficient for the v3 is minus of 3, therefore the third entry in the first column should be minus 3. Okay, therefore here the coefficients are 2, 0. Why 0? Because the v2 is not present, therefore its coefficient must be 0, and the minus 3, therefore the first column is 2, 0 and minus of 3. Therefore look at here, the coefficients are v1 is not present, therefore the coefficient of an v1 is 0, then coefficient of v2 is 1 and coefficient of v3 is 5, therefore the second column is 0, 1 and 5. Now look at here, T of v3, the coefficient of v1 is 1, therefore here is 1, coefficient of v2 is minus 1, therefore the coefficient is minus 1, and here the v3 is not present, therefore its coefficient is 0, therefore the third column must be 1, minus 1 and the 0, therefore the matrix is 2, 0, minus 3, 0, 1, 5 and the 1, minus 1, 0. The most important thing you have to remember that if we have, first of all, look at the edge, T operating on the each basis vector, and it should be represented as a linear combination of the basis vectors only. Then you can calculate it or you can consider the coefficient as a directly entries of the first column, second column and the third column. If this is not a case, if we have not given, if these elements are not given as a linear combination of the basis vector, then we do not consider this coefficient as directly as an entries of the matrix as an, and put it in the first, second and the third column. Okay, so here directly we have given T of v1, T of v2 and T of v3 in the linear combination of the basis vectors v1, v2 and the v3, therefore we consider the coefficient as an entries of the columns. Okay, so this is the example for finding the linear transformation, and this is very important concept for finding the transformation matrix by using a transformation, because this is very important topic for the NET and SET exam. Okay, therefore, and the example, one or two examples should be used by the CSIR to in the NET exam. Okay, so look at it very carefully. Now the next example, what we have given. So example is, let T be defined by the system y1 is equal to 3x1 minus x2, y2 is equal to x1 plus 2x2, and we have given T defined by the two equations y1 and the y2. The first is y1 3x1 minus x2 and the second y2 is x1 plus 2x2. Now we have given E1 and the E2 as a basis vector for the R2. Why the R2 is considered here? Since y1 and y2 here those two coordinates is given, and in x1 and x2 there are also two coordinate is given. Therefore, how the map is looks like, therefore we have T is a map from R2 to R2. Therefore, we know that the standard basis for the R2, E1 and E2. These are the two standard basis for the R2. E1 is equal to 1, 0 and E2 is equal to 0, 1. Then E1 and E2 forms the basis of the R2. These are the basis we have given. Then we have to calculate the matrix for that T. Okay. So first of all, find out the T of E1. Now look at here. We do not have given this y1 and y2 as a linear combination of the basis directly. Okay. So we cannot do it as an earlier problem. Okay, so we have given here basis e1 and e2, therefore we have to find out this t of e1 and the t of e2 as a linear combination of these basis vectors e1 and the e2. Okay, so first we calculate the t of e1. T of e1 is equal to, first of all we find out the matrix for the t. How the matrix for t is calculated? By using the first and the second equation. First equation is an y1 is equal to 3x1 minus x2. Therefore for calculating this matrix we put it as an row wise. Okay, therefore the coefficient is 3 and minus 1, therefore put it as an row wise 3 minus 1. Here the coefficients is 1 and 2, therefore here second row should be 1 and 2. Therefore t of e1 is equal to, the matrix t is 3 minus 1 1 2 and the e1 value is 1 0, therefore put here 1 0. Therefore by using a matrix multiplication this is 3 and 1. Okay, which is equal to, now we have to express t of e1 as a linear combination of the basis vectors e1 and the e2. So how this can be expressed as a linear combination of the e1 and e2? It can be expressed as, suppose consider 3 here is equal to 3 into e1. e1 is 1 0 plus 1 into 0 1. Okay, now take a addition of these two. This is nothing but the 3 into 1 plus 1 into 0 means 3. Okay, here 3 is here, and 3 into 0 plus 1 into 1 means here the entry is 1. Okay, therefore here is 1. Therefore we express this element as a linear combination of the basis vector. This is e1 and this is the e2. Okay, therefore this is nothing but which is equal to 3 into e1, this is e1 plus 1 into e2. Therefore t of e1 can be expressed in the linear combination of the basis vector. Okay, this is for the first column, this is for the first column. Now for finding the second column of the matrix, consider t of e2. Now consider t of e2 is equal to, matrix T is 3 minus 1 1 2 and the e2 value is 0 and 1. Then by using multiplying we have minus 1 2 which is equal to, how it can be expressed in the linear combination of the e1 and e2, minus 1 into 1 0 plus 2 into 0 1. We know that this value is e1 and this value is e2. Therefore t of e2 is also expressed in the linear combination of the e1 and e2, and this is nothing for the entries are using this linear combination is useful for finding the second column of the matrix. Okay, therefore by using these two equations, how the matrix is calculated? Now look at here, this is the t of e1 value is here, t of e1 is equal to 3e1 plus 1 into e2. Okay, so we can consider the coefficient of this e1 and e2 basis vector. Okay, we can consider the coefficients of this e1 and e2 and put it as a first column. Okay, so here is e1 e2 and here is t of e1 and t of e2. Okay, so the entries are, the coefficients are 3 and 1, therefore put it as a first column. Therefore here 3 and 1, and the second case the coefficients are minus 1 and 2, therefore put it as a second column, therefore it is a minus 1 and 2. Therefore the matrix is 3 minus 1 1 and 2. This is the transformation matrix by using the basis vectors e1 and the e2. In that way the transformation matrix by using the basis vectors can be calculated. Okay, here in that case we do not have given, expressed or given an y1 and v2 as a linear combination of the basis vector directly. Therefore we have to find out first of all t1 and the t of e2, and by using the equations which are given or calculated for the t1 and t2, by using this we can find the matrix for the linear transformation. Now third example is, we have given, let T is a map from P2 to P2 given by T of Px is equal to derivative of Px. D of Px is nothing but derivative of Px, and find the matrix for T. Okay, T is a map from P2 to P2 means what? We know that the P of n is nothing but what? P of n is nothing but the polynomial function. Okay, and here n is given means what? The P of n, if we have here given as an n, means nothing but the polynomial function of an n degree. Okay, here Pn is given means what? there is a polynomial of an n degree, means a0 plus a1x plus a2x square up to so on an x raised to n. Now here we have given the map. T is a map from P2 to P2, means it is a map from the polynomial function of 2 degree to polynomial function of an 2 degree. So how the polynomial looks like in P2? Suppose f of x is a polynomial which belongs to P2 of x. This is implies f of x is equal to, it is an polynomial of the 2 degree. Therefore, it is nothing but a0 plus a1x plus a2x square. Okay. So the polynomial in P2 is this type. Now for finding the transformation matrix, first of all we have to find the basis for the P2. So which are the basis for the P2? These are nothing but, for finding the basis, first of all the basis should be linearly independent set. This is the first case, and the second case, or the set should be a linearly independent, and the second case is what? The set should span V. Okay, the set should span the set V, therefore this is nothing but the basis. Now look at here, the each element here, the a0 is multiplied by 1, then a1 is multiplied by x, and a2x square, a2 is multiplied by the x square. And look at here these elements, 1x square is nothing but the linearly independent set, because every element is not a linear combination of the other element. Okay, therefore this set is linearly independent. Also, every element of P2 can be expressed as a linear combination of these vectors. Look at here, the polynomial Px can be expressed as a linear combination of these vectors a0, a1x, a0 plus a1x plus a2x square. Therefore, every element can be expressed as a linear combination of these vectors. Therefore, this can form some basis for the P2. Okay, so the basis for the P2 is 1x and x square. Okay, now we have to find the transformation matrix for the P2. Okay, we have to find the transformation matrix for the P2. Now look at here, the basis for P2 is 1x x square. How it can be calculated? I already discussed. Now for transformation matrix, what we have to calculate? Look at here, in this example we calculate T of E1 and then T of E2. Okay, T of E1 means what? E1 is the basis vector here and E2 is also basis vector. Okay, for this, therefore here for this we have to calculate, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate T of 1, then T of x, and then T of x square. Okay, so first of all consider T of 1. T of 1. Therefore, by definition of an T of 1, what we have given, T of P of x is equal to derivative of an P of x. Here P of x is nothing but first element is 1. Okay, so T of 1 is equal to derivative of 1 by using a definition of an T. So what is the derivative of an 1? Derivative of 1 is 0. Now for finding the column vectors, by using this first basis vector we can find the first column of the matrix. Okay, so how it can be calculated? We have to express 0 as a linear combination of these vectors 1x x square. Why this? Because here the map should be goes to P2. Okay, therefore its basis vectors are also 1x and x square. Okay, so we have to express the 0 as a linear combination of these basis vectors 1x and x square. So how it can be? 0 can be expressed 0 into 1 plus 0 into x plus 0 into x square, and it's nothing but the again 0. Okay, so the first column is 0, 0 and 0. Now then the second entry is T of x. T of x, by using a definition, it is derivative of an x. What is derivative of an x? Is 1. And now we have to express 1 as a linear combination of these basis vectors 1x and x square. So 1 can be expressed as 1 into 1 plus 0 into x plus 0 into x square. These two entries are nothing but the 0, because 0 is multiplied here. These are 0 and this entry is 1. Okay, so 1 can be expressed in that form. Therefore, now consider these coefficients as a second column. Therefore, the second column must be 1, 0, 0. Second column must be 1, 0, 0. And for finding the third column, consider T of x square. T of x square is equal to derivative of x square, and we know that the derivative of x square is 2x, which is equal to 0 into 1. How it can be expressed? 0 into 1 plus 2 into x plus 0 into x square. Now consider this column elements these coefficients as a third column. Therefore, the elements are 0, 2 and 0. Okay. So, the matrix for T is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0 and the 0, 2, 0. This is an 3 cross 3 matrix. Okay. Therefore, by using the fact that if we have given basis vector, or if we have to find the transformation matrix, first of all find out or look at the basis for this which vector space we have given and express these elements as a linear combination of the basis vector. Then look at the coefficients of the each element and can be put that as an first, second and the third column. Therefore, by using this fact we can find out the transformation matrix. Okay. So these are some of the examples for finding the transformation matrix. Now the next is note: if A and B are n cross n matrices with coefficients alpha ij and beta ij respectively, their sum and product are defined by alpha ij plus beta ij, which is equal to alpha ij plus beta ij. Alpha ij into beta ij is equal to gamma ij, and this can be this is nothing but the product summation k running from 1 to n alpha I k b k j. Okay, if we have given A and B as n cross n matrices and the coefficients are alpha I j and beta I j, then how the sum is alpha I j plus beta I j. Take a sum of the coefficients, and the multiplication is alpha I j into beta I j is gamma I j, where gamma I j is nothing but this product summation alpha I k beta k j k running from 1 to n. In treating the matrix as an n square tuple, it is also natural to define alpha into alpha ij is equal to alpha alpha ij for alpha belongs to field f. Okay. Now, if we are treating the matrix as an n square tuple, as an n cross n matrix, then in that case, this multiplication is natural. What alpha into alpha ij is equal to, if some scalar is multiplied to each coefficient, then from the outside is nothing but the multiplication of the scalar to that element, which is equal to alpha alpha ij for alpha belongs to field f. Okay, so this is the some topic which is based on the matrix, for finding the matrix of the transformation, and some sum and the product of the coefficients of the matrices.